Heard the Lord say to me this afternoon the words, "Will you step in?" He has been inviting people to step into the next thing that they are being called to do. And he's made me very aware in my heart that there are many that are a little bit, it's a bit of an intrepid journey. It's nearly, I can actually see people going to step into the next thing that God is calling them to do. And they're a little bit nervous. In this season of transition, there are many that are feeling this call of God upon their lives. What does that feel like? The call is not necessarily into ministry, but there's a deep knowing. There's a deep knowing on the inside that there is something missing in your life. There's this feeling that there is something that is lacking in your life. You're feeling restless and you're not quite sure what to do with it. You know what? Watching streaming on TV is not going to fill it. Going out and get exercising is not going to fill it. Partying is not going to fill it. Going about and doing a whole lot of activities is not going to fill it. What's going to fill it is when we choose to step in to the thing that God is inviting us to step into in this time of our lives. So it's that sense that there is something lacking in our lives. It's a sense that deep is calling unto deep. What does that turn of phrase actually mean? It means something deep inside of you is responding to the depth of God's call upon your life. So you may be uncertain about what it might look like. You may be uncertain about your credentials. You may be intimidated by those around you who appear to have it all together. You might, oh, pardon me, you might feel like you don't belong to the pack, the recognized pack, so to speak. And you might feel like you're an outsider, or you might even believe the lie of the enemy that you've got nothing to give, that people have heard it all before. Well, you also might even be trying to get it all together before you go. I want to encourage you. If you're sensing this call and have a sense of restlessness that there is something more, it is your call, it is your invitation to step into, pardon me, I had no problem before, into what God is calling you to. He does not want you to have it all worked out. He does not want you to be perfect. He just wants your yes. So I want to encourage you, simply take the first step. And after that, the next step will reveal. It's a very uncomfortable place to be. I've been living in this place since 2020. I have shared for the last 5 years that it was literally like God got a 10,000 piece jigsaw puzzle in a box. He shook the box. He then took the lid off. He flipped it over and turned it upside down in front of me. And then he took the picture away. And just piece by piece, I've been turning over the jigsaw puzzle and working out what's next, what's next, what's next. He's not going to give you all of it all at once because it's going to feel intimidating. What he will do is he'll give you the next thing to do. If you have that sense and you have a sense of what is it that I'm meant to do next, I want to encourage you, do it. Step in, simply take the first step. Once you are moving, he can then direct your steps. Think of a car that is that is driving. When you're stationary with the handbrake on, there's no momentum. You can't steer that thing, and there's no point steering it because you're not going anywhere. As soon as that car starts to have some forward velocity, even if it's slow, think of those old cars that, back in the day, I used to drive a car with gears. You pop it into first gear, pop the clutch in, and you could start to steer that car. Just allow him to start to steer the car by stepping out and just getting a little bit of movement. It doesn't matter, even if it's just joining the training, buying the next book, writing the next blog, just anything, whatever it might be. If you're around me, it'll be like, just stop for the first person that you sense that God's asking you to stop for when you're out and about on the street. Whatever it is, just do it. And after you've done that, the next step will reveal, and then the next step will reveal. I don't know how many of you have seen the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think it's the Raiders of Lost Ark anyway, where Harrison Ford has to get across this huge cavernous expanse and he can't work out how to get across. And then he just chooses to take the step of faith. He literally steps out onto thin air. That's what God is asking us to do. Trust me, he's saying. Trust me with your first step, and I will catch you, and then I will show you the next. And Harrison Ford suddenly realized that there was actually a pathway before him. He just had to take that step of faith. And of course, you know, people who've seen the movie will remember he threw the sand across it, and then the pathway was revealed. So I want to say to you very much, it's an adventure. This is not a job description. A life with God is an adventure. It is not a job description. You're going to have fun. It's not about performance. It's not about getting it right. It's about relationship with Him and then co-laboring or operating with Him, not without Him. Not saying, God, I'm going to take the next step that I want to do, and would you please bless me as I go? It's like, no, let's do this together. We want to co-labor. We want to cooperate with God. So it's about cooperating. It's all about relationship with Him, and then it's about relationship with others. So I just felt to pop on, share that prophetic encouragement. Take the next step. Will you take the next step? And if you are going to take the next step, then please go ahead, pop it in the chat, and say, you know, yes, I'm going to take the next step. This is the next step I'm going to take. If you want to share it, if you don't want to share it on socials, don't. But I love, I love that. I'm working on the, what is it, 100,000 piece for 14 years, ready for the next piece, but I know it's not where I am. So when you know it's not where you are, that's one of the first things that you know to do, because I have released that prophetic word about literally it's just a matter of it's just a matter of stepping in, that there's nothing more to do. So it's about, if you know that it's not that, it's about finishing off very well with honor, and then waiting and going, okay, God, what's next? There's a lot of loose ends that are being tied up. There's a lot of things that are being laid down. There's a lot of purifying of motives as well that is happening across the body of Christ. But let's take the next step. Let's step in. So I encourage you. I hope that's been an encouragement to you, and we will catch you